What's up YouTube? This is Sam from Tyke Schooling, and today we are covering up the structure of cell membrane. While covering up the structure of cell membrane, we'll be talking briefly about all the structure, and we'll also cover up the ionic concentration in the extracellular fluid and the intracellular fluid, which is very important, and particularly these terms or these numbers or these amounts are really important for you to understand the nerve impulses in future. So first we'll talk about the structure of cell membrane. So you have to remember this is your cut piece of a cell membrane. Outside it's the extracellular space, and inside it's a cytosol, which is the inside of a cell. The cell membrane consists of four important things. That you have got the phospholipid. This is your phospholipid, which is a bilayer, and we have got the cholesterol. On the other hand, we have got cholesterol. You can see embedded inside this yellow color, and we have got the proteins. These channels, especially these channel proteins, which will be divided in just a bit. Number third is these proteins. And number fourth, we have got the carbohydrate, which are on the outside, usually attached to the proteins. So what happens? Again, as we move further, we particularly divide cell membrane into major structures that we divided into the lipid bilayer and proteins. The lipid bilayer itself consists of two parts. If you see it this way, this is the lipid bilayer. If we take one piece out, for example, if we take one piece out, just a bit. If we take this piece out, right outside, we get this is structure like this, and this is a lipid bilayer. So this is a lipid bilayer. I mean, this is there's two layers. The one layer is above it, and the one layer down there. So these two layers consist. They call together lipid bilayer. They have two layers. If we take one piece of phospholipid, we can see the upper portion, which is called the hydrophilic, which is water attracting, right? So this is a hydrophilic portion, and this is made up of purely lipid. So this is hydrophobic. All right, this is hydrophobic part, the down part. So these are the part of lipid bilayer. And other thing we have got important thing, that is proteins. The proteins are there are two types of proteins. We have divided them into two portions. We have divided them into integral or transport proteins. These are integral or transport proteins, and another is peripheral proteins. So what is integral or transport proteins? So integral or transport proteins are those proteins which protrude all the way through the cell membrane. You can see they are all the way through the cell membrane from one side to another. This is exactly with this one. They are protruded all the way to the other side. So in this integral or transport proteins, we have divided them into two parts. We have got channel proteins and the carrier proteins. So channel proteins have pores or channels like this one. So this is an example of channel protein in this. And the second one is the carrier protein, which, for example, consider this protein, which is this one, is actually an example of carrier protein, which actually binds with the substance, for example, from the outside, and there's a conformational change, and that conformational change transport the substance across the cell membrane. So this is the two parts of this what we call the integral proteins. We have got channel proteins and we have got the carrier proteins. On the other hand, we have got the peripheral proteins. Peripheral proteins are those proteins which are completely attached either outside or inside, and usually they act as enzymes. For example, this protein, this is on the inside, on the cytosol side. So this is your peripheral protein. So this is it regarding the basic physiology and membrane, cell membrane, physiology of cell membrane. And in the next video, we'll talk about the transport through the cell membrane, and these lectures will be brief. So keep watching Tyke Schooling.